Tim Cruise, let's talk about Norwegian's Prima, which they have doing an Iceland to Southampton, England trip, which is kind of weird for the ship, and we'll talk about that. We did get a Haven suite, and it's called a penthouse suite. And don't expect to work because the internet, even though it's Starlink, is terribly slow. But you're not there to work. Today, we are in Bergen, Norway. Where who lives?
Is that where the Bergenmeister lives?
The Burgermeister Burger? We will find out. Come with us on a journey to Bergen.
It's El Maco.
So we'll talk about all the crazy things we found, including paprika flavor potato chips. They're all over Europe. It's crazy. And all the other things we noticed in Amsterdam, in Norway, and all the stops. All the videos are going to be on this channel if they aren't already. So make sure you hit that subscribe and the little notification so you know when they pop up. Bruges in Belgium is fun. It's exciting. There's lots to do. And you'll learn how to use pay toilets, which is weird. We'll talk about the midges, which aren't really a big problem, and some of the beautiful sites, all on this channel. We brought you on our tours with us, so you'll know exactly what to expect if and when you have the opportunity to visit this beautiful area. I channeled my inner kid and put the kale on the floor. The kale is definitely a fail. And there's always this woman. Everywhere we were in Europe, she's always there, like, giving me this look. I swear she was following me. And she scared me. But I'm going to call her Ethel, because we call everybody Ethel. So let's start. First, you get off the airplane or whatever transportation you got to Iceland. I recommend going a couple days early because Reykjavik is a beautiful, vibrant, fun city. There's bars, there's restaurants, endless touring opportunities for volcanoes and waterfalls and spas and natural springs. It is amazing. I'm going back. We're definitely going to head back to Reykjavik. So they'll dump you when it's cruise day into this big tent looking thing, which rumbles. It's always windy out there. And the thing sounds like there's an earthquake going on. And then they'll corral you through this makeshift little thing. And the most steep, severe incline I have ever seen on getting on a cruise ship. It was like climbing a mountain, so thank God I had my hiking shoes, which turns out I really didn't need. And more on that on another video later, too. But this, I felt bad for some of the old people. They were out of breath getting up this thing. So here's the ship. Now, it's probably not the best ship to sail in Northern Europe. Why? Because there are so many outside areas. And, of course, when it's cold, windy, rainy, as it is most of the time in the Northern European area in the summertime, people aren't outside. The pool was sparsely used. There's a couple of hot tubs, but you got to get out of the hot tub and then you're going to freeze. So most of the people were clustered inside, and there are ample inside areas, but they were always kind of crowded. So if you like to go read somewhere peaceful, there weren't really a lot of areas to do that because there were so many people clustered inside. Here's the Haven deck. It has the infinity pool on the back of the ship, and you can only get to that pool if you stay in the Haven. Deck 8 is where pretty much everybody else gathers, but again, there was nobody outside. It was so cold and windy. Well, towards the end of the cruise, it wasn't bad. We only had a couple days left, and we did see a couple people in this other infinity pool on Deck 8, which everyone can use. And you'll see all the way up top, you have the Vibe Beach Club. I feel sorry for you if you bought. I'll talk about that in a second. It's funny. Met these people who bought Vibe Beach Club passes, and we were laughing. You cannot see the lifeboats from the ship. They are underneath deck, I think it's deck 8, so you really can't see them. So that's kind of nice. They don't obscure any views, which was a smart design choice. And you can't get on the front of the ship, so, well, there's an observation deck. This is the owner suite in the Haven. It was not our room, but the people staying here were lovely enough to let us take a look around. It has a separate bedroom, really nice bathroom, and a lot of amenities there in the Haven. It's really nice, and we'll go through there too. This is deck 6. This is like the main deck where everybody gets in, and this is where it starts. They're setting up security for an excursion on this particular morning, so all this stuff normally isn't there. And it leads on the right side of the ship. Is it the right side? I always get confused. I think it's starboard over here, but I don't know. And you'll see this giant casino that you have to walk through when you get on the ship. And you'll find a lot of things are kind of one-sided. It's almost like a maze. It'll take you a day or two to get your bearings about you and try to figure out the pathways through this ship, because some of them, including the other side of the casino, are a dead end, and you find yourself turning around, and it's the smoke area down there. It's kind of miserable. So we cruise through the casino, endless slot machines. It's ridiculous. And we get to the end. You can see the tables here if you're a gambler. We really don't do much of this, but it looks like they had poker, roulette, all the standard games, your blackjack. Everything's in here. We saw a lot of people losing a lot of money, so big up on them. Because you're inside. It's too cold to do anything outside, so this is a natural. Go to the casino. It'll keep you busy for a couple hours. And then we kind of crossed through to the Belvedere Bar. I have no idea what this is all about because we were in the Haven. We didn't do the main dining room. This is a specialty restaurant. You have to pay extra for Cagney Steakhouse. We didn't go in there. We got steaks everywhere else in the Haven and even in the buffet area. That steaks everywhere, so why pay for it? And the Japanese restaurant. And here's an outside bar outside the Cagney's area. They call the Belvedere Bar. And there's another dining room to the left here, the Commodore Room, and I think this is one of the main dining rooms too. Again, we were in the Haven, so we didn't experience this, so I apologize. I can't really give you a review on this. But it was kind of isolated and not the best view in this room as well. So we'll continue down deck 6. I think we're on port side now. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong here in the comments. And again, the casino's on the other side, and it dead ends, and you can't get through here. It's kind of weird. So if you go straight down here, you end up in an infinite maze, and you will leave your money on the casino tables. I don't know. I guess some people did pretty well. We didn't spend a lot of time in here, but it did pretty good business. Pretty busy on some of the colder days. All right, so the Players Club's all the way down there, and I think it's smoky down there, and there's a bar and all the typical stuff you find on any cruise ship casino. And then we shoot back through where we came in. And they have these nice things at touchscreens. You can actually see where you are and figure out where you want to be on the ship by just clicking the touchscreen. Remember, other people touch those too, so wash your hands before you eat. And you can cycle through all the floors, which is nice. This is pretty cool technology. So if you need to find somewhere, it's really easy right there at your fingertips. It's also available in the app. So this is the 6th floor, and again, the main floor. And we go up to 7 and 8, and this is where everybody hangs out, 6, 7, and 8 primarily. Especially on the Northern European cruises if you don't want to be outside. The food is upstairs too, and we'll go through that as well. The elevators are kind of infinite. You just keep walking back and you get lost in the star system in warp mode, and you end up wherever you want to be in like a few seconds. The elevators are nice. There, if you notice, there is a 13th and a 17th floor, so they really covered both the bad luck floors on this ship, which I found really interesting. You either don't have 13 or you don't have 17, but Prima's like, meh, let's put them both on here, so I don't have a problem with it. Here's deck 7, kind of in the middle of that whole, I don't want to call it a promenade, but the main area. So here's the Prima Theater. It does span 3 levels. And on the bottom floor, we couldn't get in this particular morning, but I do have some footage here to show you what it looks like in there. And it fills up pretty quickly. You should make reservations for the shows. If you're in the Haven, there is a special line, and you don't have to make reservations. They just usher you into a secluded area. It's not secluded. It's the left-hand side of the theater. And when they figured everybody who's there from the Haven is in, you're good enough. And this is neat because the seats pull in and out. They threw us out of here because for some reason they don't want anybody seeing this. I guess it's a big secret. And they were able to open it up like the Virgin Cruise and make it a giant dance floor or a hall or whatever. And then they do really weird shows like this. Really oddball disco shows that nobody quite gets because disco was like 50, 60 years ago, and these people have no idea. I'm like, yeah, my grandparents are in it. This guy's like, hey, man, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, but they told me to dance like this, and I want to dress like a fireman. Oh, look at me. I'm so beautiful. And so, yeah, they weren't well attended. They have a 70s, 80s, and a 90s, and, you know, they're whatever. You see, it's not packed, and it was really weird because you try to get up in the business and you try to dance. They keep pushing you out of the way because they want to do their show in the middle of the floor. There was the Donna Summer show, which was, oh my God, it was so long. There's no intermission. And it's really the story of her life rather than a musical performance. They do songs, but it's a lot more drama than it is music. And I was sad because I love her music. And then there's this magician guy who does card tricks on the stage, which was really awkward. Yeah, he's pretty good, but it's kind of weird to do card tricks on the stage with a big camera, and the screen is really what you're looking at, not really at him because you can't see him because cards are small, right? And here's that main promenade-ish area. There's a name for it. I don't care what it's called. I think this is your trip excursion desk, and there is a fully functional Starbucks on level 7 here. And this was pretty crowded. Again, We're in Northern Europe. It's a little chilly outside. By chilly, I'm talking somewhere between 45 to 55 degrees with winds coming from the ship itself and combined with the wind that you're going into, especially if there's a headwind, and it get pretty chilly. And it was rainy and misty out there and foggy a lot of days. It's Northern Europe. That's what it is in the summertime. So you can see the downstairs and stare at people. A lot of people watching opportunities here. But again, this area fills up pretty quick. People do reserve seats, kind of like the chairs on the Caribbean cruises. People that put their stuff there and they just park there all day. Here's a shopping area. We'll just skip through here because it's boring. All the same stuff you'll find on any other. You're going to overpay for prices and luxury purses and blah, blah, blah. And there's a photography center. I think it's up one level. This is an interesting place, too. This is where they do their Rumors, which is a Fleetwood Mac tribute. I'm going to be honest, I was standing in the hallway. I was not impressed in Sid Norman's Poorhouse. This place is obscenely crowded because everybody's heard about the show and they've got a reputation of being incredible. I do a lot of production of tribute bands, and this was not one of the best I've ever heard. I've heard some really good Fleetwood Mac tribute bands. This is not in my top 5, but it's a fun thing to do when you're on a ship, but it does get very crowded. It's standing room only, and I'm claustrophobic in that situation. I can't do that anymore. Across from it is the Improv, which is supposed to be their comedy club, but they did their comedy shows in the main theater. So I really don't know what this is. I think maybe they did karaoke in here. I don't know. I think this was where they did karaoke. I was busy. I was doing things. I'm trying to bring this news to you. So I didn't have time to sit there and do karaoke. And who wants to watch karaoke on YouTube anyway? Pfft, boring. So let's cruise back through the rest of 7, and you'll find the Metropolitan Bar. Someone was actually performing in this bar, too. Oh, here's the humidor if you're into cigars. I think you could actually smoke in this thing, those nasty stogies. I think you can buy them here, too, but again, I don't do that. I have no interest in lung cancer. Maybe this is your thing, and I wish you all the best. Place stanks like a terrible Cuban lounge, and, well, it's supposed to. And a lot of people come in here who think they're hot stuff, and people who used to be somebody one day, they come in, oh, yes, I used to be somebody. Oh, you too? You were somebody. Yes. Oh, let's smoke another cigar, shall we? $80, whatever. And so those kind of people hang out in there, and that wasn't my thing either. This is probably 5:30 in the morning we went through here. That's why there's no one in here. So this is that lounge outside there. And again, we did see some entertainment here, and this gets pretty crowded as well. No vistas. You can see there's no windows here, really nothing to stare at except other people. And if that's your thing, then this is the perfect opportunity. It was really, the entertainment's at night, nothing much going on, just people sitting around shooting the stuff during the day. Here are the Haven elevators. The Haven has 2 private elevators, and I'll show you those in a moment as well. So let's continue to the back of deck 7, and pretty, lots of public bathrooms, so that's nice. And there's a sushi bar back here. That's pretty cool, right? We didn't go there because no one else in my party likes sushi, so, I was the odd man out. I was going to sit there by myself. It's kind of weird, right? And supposedly it's pretty good. A lot of people have said a lot of great things about it. A few people we talked to said, hey, you got to go down there. So that is available. I think you can get lunch or dinner there, and I think you need reservations as well, especially on these inside cruises. Now, it's called Nama Sushi and Sashimi. And across from that, you will find Hasuki, which is their Japanese hibachi restaurant. And we did go there one night. That was they're always a lot of fun. They use electrics. They don't use gas, so they can't do volcanoes. A lot of kids are upset about that. And here's what it looks like on a busy night. Always a lot of fun. Pretty pricey, and you do need reservations for this as well. There's some guy who tried to get in here. He was really mad, gave him a hard time. I was going to throw him out, but I was flexing and everything. I didn't want to show off in front of my people. So here's what it looks like at night.
Okay, here we go, just one more.
Not got egg yolk.
Feeling my egg right now,
Right now, alright. Up in the mouth.
Go.
3, 4, 5.
Oh, congratulations.
8.
Okay, it's a baby boy.
Oh, that was only 10. Alright, your eggs are very easy. Alright.
Yeah, not as fun. I don't know what this monstrosity. This was my dessert. Not as fun as the stateside ones, but yeah, you get what you get. All right, so there's this dining room in the back of the ship on deck 7 called Hudson's, and I think this is one of the, I don't know, it's the freestyle thing. Again, we don't do this. We do like the specialties or wherever our Haven thing is. So I think this is where everyone eats, and this is a really interesting dining room for one particular design feature, and I think you can see it right here. Is that a toilet in the middle of the dining? What the devil? It looks like a toilet, doesn't it? Why would you put a toilet in the middle of your dining room? I have no idea what's going on there. I don't know what the thought process was. Maybe they didn't have enough bathrooms, but it seems to me it'd be kind of rude to really take a squat in the middle of it. They're facing both ways too. I guess some for the tables in the back towards the windows. But the important thing is it's a beautiful vista. It's one of the prettiest places to sit and have dinner. It looks like a toilet. You got to admit it does. So, yeah, nice place. We ran through the rest of it. But this is really the only place on the back of the ship you can look outside and dine. And it's really, really nice. It's a nice dining room. And here's the thing. Since we're in the North Atlantic, there's not a lot of places to hang out. There really might have been better off making that a seating area or a lounge where everybody could go hang out and stare at the ocean on those rainy days. But what do I know? I'm just a YouTuber. So let's kick through. We're going to go through these are the Haven elevators. And you're only accessible if you have a Haven key card. I'm not trying to be snotty or anything here. I'm just telling you where they are. In case you do stay at the Haven, you'll know where these are, because this is the first time I've ever seen private elevators for the suite class. They don't have it on MSC, Royal Caribbean, to the best of my knowledge, or Carnival. So it's a nice feature. It's a nice little perk. And you can use these when you're getting off on your excursions. You'll be escorted out and all that fun stuff. So let's take the elevator up to the Ocho, floor 8, and see what kind of trouble we can get into here. Coming out of the Haven elevators, you're going to walk into, oh, actually, you could look at the ship here. And you have your little map here. It's going to tell you exactly what's on this level, how to get where you're going. Now, this is weird. We'll come back to this restaurant. This is a really neat place, but it got really crowded really fast. You can see there's a lot of seating areas outside on 8, but it's cold and rainy and no one's going out there, so everybody is hanging inside. And you can order snacks and appetizers here as well. But we'll come back to this area because there's 2 pieces to this. And I didn't know that. One of them is a 24-hour dining in addition to room service. So here's the Indulge Food Hall. And this is a really neat area. I've never seen anything like it. Think of like street food on a cruise ship. And they have all kinds of different stuff. This is the Indian restaurant, and they have one of these crazy ovens. And that was pretty good. You can order anything you want. It's all included in your cruise fare, which is really nice. And you use these cool little iPads that we'll show you in a second. They actually are iPads. We were actually able to get to the menu, which is silly that we could do that. And here's Coco's, which is dessert. Now, this stuff is all extra. Coco's you had to pay extra for some of these desserts, but there's other desserts that are included. Noodles has Asian-inspired noodle dishes. Not really like a lo mein or a stir-fry. More like some Thai stuff and soups and stuff. It was kind of odd. Nothing really appealed to me. It wasn't the kind of Asian noodles I'm used to. And this is ice cream. This is included too. It's only open certain hours. And actually the woman that was there was she had a little attitude problem. I mean, we all have bad days, but dang. And they call this the Latin Quarter, and this is the Luna Bar, which was empty most of the time, except for the last day, because people were trying to find places to hang out because everything's so crowded. But check these out. They look like food trucks in the middle of this thing. Now, you don't order directly from them. You will order on your table. Here's where the free desserts are. And this was a very nice salad bar. I mean, they'll make it basically any way you want. You could talk to these people, too. And they will add a few extra things on your Caesar salad if you want. Another Starbucks, fully functional Starbucks. They're really big on their Starbucks. Starbucks not included on any drink package. You have to pay separately for that. And then there's this Texas Smokehouse where you can get ribs and some other stuff. And they were supposed to serve breakfast this morning, but I didn't see that happen. But maybe I missed it. Now, here are the iPads. So you basically click on what you want. It shows you what's available at that time. I understand this does change from time to time. So you can order a salad. You can customize. I tried the French onion soup, which was actually very good. It was very good. It was actually better than the French onion soup I ordered in France. Imagine that. Tomato soup, Felicia said, was really good. Here's the noodles options. And again, these could change from cruise to cruise. It's a little different. Here's the smokehouse selections. And then you have I forgot the Seaside Rotisserie Diner is also there. They have some fish dishes. And there's my French onion soup and some other goodies that we ordered here. And again, you can order from multiple places. We sat here in the diner area. It's really, really small, and it's kind of awkward to put your feet in here too. Not the best place to sit, but it's still, the visual is really kind of neat if you look at it. You have to admit, this is really cool looking. Never seen anything like this on any other cruise ship. And again, you don't order here. You order on your little iPad, but this is where they make it, and this is kind of where the show business happens. And really neat place, the Latin Quarter in the back of the Indulge Food Hall. I think that's really an Airstream. They did a heck of a job in designing this and decorating this. Very, very cool looking place. And it was kind of dark. And at the meal times, this was kind of bright here. Again, it's like 5:36 in the morning here, so they're getting ready and cleaning things up. So they brought up the lights, but it's kind of like you're sitting in a dark alley somewhere. It's a little spooky, but kind of cool. Coffee and juice stations here and all this other stuff. And again, you can eat outside if you're in the Caribbean or if you luck out and have a really nice day. Here's that, I think it's called a tandoor oven. I think there's a little sign on the left here explains what they are, and that's what the Indian restaurant uses to cook some of their meats, and supposedly they're very, very, very good. Not a big on curry myself, but if this is your thing, man, you're going to enjoy this. You may eat here every day. Very, very cool that they could do this on a cruise ship, isn't it? And again, our friends at the salad bar, they were doing us special favors. We just yelled over. We ordered some salads. He goes, "You want some extra of this?" Yes, 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 yes. So that was, I got extra Caesar dressing, which is really nice. And this is when the dessert bar is open. Again, a lot to choose from here, and this is all included. So we're going to hightail out of Indulge Food Hall. Again, I love this place. Definitely try it. It's hidden on the back of 8. So is that 8? I think it is 8. And you may not even find it if you're not looking for it. All right, so we're going to go forward now towards the front of the ship. Is that the aft? I don't know. I get lost in. I think the aft is the butt, because aft rhymes with, or it looks like the word that means the back of the butt, whatever. I can't say that here. And here is a fully functional bar. They did have some interesting drinks here, which I did try, which is featured in another video. I did 29 drinks in one day, proving that the Norwegian Ultimate Unlimited Drink Package is truly unlimited. And yeah, it was unlimited. And you can, a really nice selection of liquors as well, too. So you come out here, they call this Ocean. What is it? Oh, this is the local bar and grill. Now, there's actually 2 pieces to this, and it's not very intuitive because there's one on the other side, and we'll come back to that. So the local bar and grill, remember, there's 2 of them. So we're going through the photo center. We'll just dance through here. Blah, blah, blah. You can buy your GoPros and headphones and chargeable batteries and blah, 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 all that stuff. And then they try to sell you some more watches and just kicking through. With sunglasses, they're a really nice sunglass shop, which you can actually try them on, which is pretty cool. And here's one of the stores. I think there's 3 stories of stores, and you can get your cigarettes on or whatever you want to do. And then all the way back here, you're going to find I think the top level of the Prima Theater. And I think I tried to sneak in here. I was able to get in here this time. And they have like a balcony seating. It's really cool on the 3rd level. And I don't remember if that was crowded at night. We were down on the floor for the most part. Yeah, this is the top level up here. This is another good place to sit. Real good seats. If you notice, there's no poles in this theater. Unlike Royal Caribbean and their infinite stupidity of putting poles that block everybody's vision and field of view, no poles in this theater. So great job to Norwegian Cruise Lines and people who designed Prima for not putting obstructed views in their Prima Theater. All right, so let's head back out on 8. I got to show you the other side down here. There is the top level of the promenade up there, too, which a lot of people sit around. I don't think there's a lot to do up there. I think there may be a bar. We'll look at that. And again, it gives you everything that's on there. If you just tap on those things, they're right outside the elevators. You know exactly where you're going and where you're headed. You could search. You could find out what's going on in the ship. And again, most of those features are available in the app as well, which you can use the free ship Wi-Fi to access, even if you don't have an internet plan. And yeah, there's another seating area up here. There's a little bar over there. And this is interesting. A lot of people go out here. We saw this on an MSC ship, and they called it an infinite, I don't know what they called it. But anyway, it's a glass walkway, and you can see underneath they're actually walking over the ocean. So, and it wasn't slippery. It was actually wet out here in the morning. I tried sliding, and I couldn't, so that's a good thing, too. And it looks like there's 2 layers of glass. Don't have to worry about it. But if you have the chutzpah, jump out there, walk out, some really good views. It was actually warming up. I think we were heading into Amsterdam on this morning, so it was about 60 degrees out there. It wasn't too bad. But again, outside areas are largely wasted on this ship. It's unfortunate. I would have thought of a ship with more interior areas for this type of cruise, but they do bounce it around. And when it's inclement up there, they'll bring it back down towards Texas or Florida or wherever they're putting it. This is the Italian restaurant. And people had a lot of great things to say about this, but I have to tell you that the spaghetti and the sauces that were on the buffet were outstanding. So I imagine we didn't eat here, but people who ate here told us it was very, very good. Their sauces are good. They're not too sweet, not too salty. They did a wonderful job with the Italian dishes, even again in the buffet and wherever else on the ship you could find them. But this is probably outstanding. It'd pay a little bit to go in there. It's not free. It's not included. So we're zipping back through here on 8. We're going to cruise back down. You can't get through on that other side, so you got to go back through this hallway. And we're going to fly through here for a little bit, again, through the photo gallery. I'm going to take you back to that restaurant that we told you about that is kind of 2 pieces, the local bar and grill. So this is the main area here, which is closed during off hours. But supposedly, and I think we did come here one morning about 5 in the morning, the local bar and grill on the other side, which really should have a different name because it's like you'd never know it was here unless you were looking for it. And this is... well, anyway, they're open 24 hours there. This is Los Lobos. They're Mexican-inspired. We did eat there one night. It was okay. They have chips and salsa and burritos and those typical Mexican dishes there. And you do have to pay for this as well. It's not included in the main fare. You have to buy a dining package or just make reservations, and this reserves up pretty quick, too. Or I think you could eat a la carte as well. So that was pretty good. We had some fun in there and some tequila. And looking over here behind us, the local bar and grill. Now, this is the other local bar and grill, and this is the one that I believe, and double check me on this, it's 24 hours, and you can get an early breakfast or a really late night snack here. And I think this is the only place on the ship that you can get food after hours, with the exclusion of room service. All right, so there's that. And so that's most of Deck 8. And I think we go to, 9, 10, 11, and most of 12 is just rooms. So we're going to shoot up to 12. Now, 12 has the medical center. Normally, it's in the bowels of the ship, all the way down the bottom. But here, it's like in the smack dab in the middle of 12. And we did have the unfortunate experience of having someone in our group who did need to use the medical center. And a friend of mine was in there. I said, you know what? We're not allowed to videotape in there. Why don't you take a quick little shot and go around and show the facilities? And this happens to people. And this is what the medical center looks like. Very well appointed. They have x-rays. I think they have ultrasounds. Basically, everything you need in here if you do get sick, the unfortunate issue of getting sick on the ship. We actually had someone extracted by helicopter during our cruise. I'm not going to show you that out of respect for their privacy. But yeah, EKGs. It's like a fully functional hospital in this bad boy. Well done. And if you do need some medicines, there is a vending machine outside where they have a good selection of stuff in their store. And I think this is the one that was on Deck 8. So you get your cough drops, your Tylenol on, your deodorant, toothbrushes, anything you forgot to bring. They have a really good selection of stuff here in that store. You're going to pay a little extra for it, but we needed some lip balm. Took care of that. And some combos. And they didn't have a big selection of Pringles on this ship. I was disappointed about that. We brought our own. And again, the prices are a little heavy. That Benadryl, and you have your motion sickness. And Trojans. I don't know what are those for? I don't remember. All right, so we're going to go up to 15 now. There's not a whole lot on... Well, I guess the main area started around 15. You got some kid stuff up there. Mostly rooms on that deck as well. But 16 is where the fun begins. Again, after 8. And we're going to shoot up there and take a look around deck number 16. And see what kind of trouble we can get in up here. Elevators are very spacious. They're very quick. We didn't run into a situation of any of them being down. A lot of the Haven on 16. So we'll run through the Haven as well just to show that to you. In the case you want to... spend a few extra bucks and live in the suite class. Now, this is the secret Haven door, everybody calls it. You see, there's no name on it. You have to use your Haven card to get in. Let's walk through, in case you've never been in the Haven on a Norwegian cruise ship. All right, so this is the kind of little lounge area, and people come up here and kind of hang out. Not a ton of seating, and it goes pretty quick. So if you just want to chill out, you have this nice obscured view. Never mind. And there's that slide in front of a bunch of rooms. I don't know what they were thinking when they did that either. I mean, all right, I would have done things differently, but that's just me. So you have a big lounge area. And then back here, it was all dark at the time. I do apologize. We didn't have any light back here. This is the Haven restaurant. And there's 2 rooms here. There's one to the left. I'm not sure what they used that for. They put us in there the last night. I don't know if that's for private parties or overflow or whatnot. But all the same stuff you get over here. And there's a little tiny buffet where you get your croissants on, and they have some smoked salmon and stuff over to the right here. And real nice views outside. Long floor-to-ceiling windows. And this is where we saw the whales, the orcas, swimming during our dinner one night. So that was very cool. So I'm going to head out of the restaurant. Again, this is the suite area, the Haven on deck 16. It's all kind of in the same area. There's a big outside area too, which we'll run through again on a Northern Atlantic cruises, kind of a waste. And this is the Haven Bar, where I set my world record of 29 drinks in one day. Take a look. How quickly can I order drinks?
No limit on how much you can drink.
Number 1.
So this time I tried a little bit of everything and went through 29 different drinks on one day. And no, I didn't drink all of them. I'd be dead. Come on, who does that? But I crashed pretty hard. And that video is on this channel as well. You can see exactly what I ordered. And the rest of the Haven Lounge, here's the concierge desk. There's usually at least 2 people sitting here. Sometimes 3. I think the woman on the end was from the spa, so you can make your spa arrangements up here, which is pretty convenient. And some little secluded areas back here. I'm not sure what that little area is. I guess that's if you get in trouble. Maybe that was the jail. Here's the outside again. Everything's covered up. Nobody really doing anything out here, which is really unfortunate. Kind of a huge waste of space. And again, this must be really nice. The bar was open periodically. I did see some people out here on the nicer days. But again, it's going to be cold, windy, rainy out here. So not a lot of opportunities to take advantage of this deck, which is, again, unfortunate. And the infinite pool, which a lot of people love, this is a huge hit. Matter of fact, you can't even find space on this in the Caribbean, but no one out here. It is heated, but it's not heated to spa level, so it's about, I think it's 80-some degrees, but I wasn't getting in. And then the rest of this area, too, largely unused on this cruise, sadly, and some nice seating areas, too. So this is probably really, really nice on a Caribbean cruise, but it's kind of wasted in the North Atlantic, which is unfortunate. I almost wish they had a ship dedicated specifically for that area, but I understand you probably can't do that in cost containment. All right, back through the Haven area, and the elevators are here to the right. These are the private Haven elevators, and they go between floors 8 and 16. They go to 6? I don't know. I think they go to 6. That's right. You can get off the ship down. It ends up in the casino when you're getting off. They will escort you off the ship with your private Haven concierge, so you can skip the lines and everybody gives you dirty looks. But hey, you paid for it, right? You worked hard. So do it if you can. All right, so we're going to shoot back out the magic door down here and get back on 16 and show you the rest of the fun that we can find on 16. And I believe the spa, and this is weird because you have to actually walk through the rooms. If you're on 16, you got to walk through all the rooms through the hallway to get to the spa. There's no direct corridor to the spa. So it's all the way on the front of the ship. And another thing you'll notice is there are no magnets on the doors because the doors are not magnetic. Now, supposedly the areas on the side, those little bars, are steel. And I have heard that if you put stuff out there, that the room attendants will take it down and put it inside your room because they don't want that clutter on your doors. I thought that was really weird. Another thing we didn't see much of was ducks on this ship too. Cruise. Here's the only one we saw. It's barely sticking up there, and I think they keep putting it back out there. I think they were mad. So we cut through here, and then you see your elevator bank, and we're going to find the spa towards the front of the ship. Now, again, it was early in the morning. They weren't open yet. I did take the tour on day 1, but it was kind of a mess. I thought this was a cleaner tour, so we walked through with our camera. I did get snagged by, there was some woman singing downstairs, but she was so bad. I imagine she must have auditioned for the talent show to be a singer on the ship, and they said, no, you work in the spa. And she was probably mad because she yelled at me for being in the spa before it was open. So, all right, we got a couple of pools down here. I'll talk about these in a second. These are hot spas. One of them has jets. One of them does not. And, well, I'm going to tell you right now, the jets are actually a little too high. They're going to, well, are they low? No, they're a little too high. They hit you right in the booty crack. It's really weird if you're standing in there. And unlike MSC, there are no seats, so you can't sit down and relax. You have to stand in there. So there's one at like your ankles and one right in your coochie hole. And for women, that could be a very nice feature. I saw some women standing there in just the right position, and I can only imagine what was going on there. So you have some hair cutting facilities, and you can get your nails on. You got your beauty salon if you want to do that kind of thing. Of course, it's a little pricey. You got to make reservations for this kind of stuff. A couple of hair stations, hair washing stations here, and I think there's a petty station, 2 petty stations over here on the other side. So if you want to get your petty on, 3. There you go. So you can get 3 at once. Bonus. So there's all this fun stuff here, and you pick your color, get your crystal gel. This gentleman was going to the gym. He was like the only other person on the ship that was awake at this hour. So I'm like trying not to catch his eye, you know what I mean? And we're looking down there at 2 spots. He got his compression socks on, boy, was ready to go. Here's the Medi-Spa treatment rooms where they suck the fat out of you or shoot the lasers in you or whatever they do there. That's $1,200, $1,300. Probably do acupuncture there too, who knows? I fell for that once, never again. And here is the Pulse Gym. Now, this is a terrible, 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 horrible location for the gym. Oh, he called me too. He was cool. He's like, yeah, don't worry, guys. You're going to the gym, man. Gym opens. We're good to go. He goes, why are you following me, man? And they've got a ton of treadmills. But the unfortunate part of this is that these stupid treadmills are directly above the thermal spa. And yes, all you can hear downstairs is boom, 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 boom. It is the worst thermal spa I have ever been in because the stupid people. And you got the heavies coming up here too. You got people who probably have never run on a treadmill in their life. They're like, yeah, I'm going to turn over a new leaf. I'm going on the cruise. I'm going to eat a lot, but I'm going to run on the treadmill, run it all off. And then I'm going to get a treadmill when I get home. And it's all a lie because they don't do nothing because they know that the thermal spa is underneath them and they're running on those stupid treadmills. Like big Bobby Boo weighs 800 pounds, never run on a treadmill again, but he's going to do that in a whole cruise. And there were people dropping weights here on the other side too. So this underneath this gym is the thermal spa. The entire gym is on top of the entire thermal spa, which is a horrible, horrible design choice. They should have reversed that, put the gym downstairs and the thermal spa up here because it's higher. It's a better vision. So I'm going to walk through here. And I'm going to head down and show you the rest of the spa, and we'll get down to that thermal. And you can actually hear it. I actually filmed it so you can hear what's going on there. So reception, and it's really confusing too. Their signs don't make a lot of sense. You can get lost in the spa, but you wouldn't be the first one. So I'm just going to power down these things too. Here's our little waterfalls too, and the really strange height jets. The big long pool has the jets in it, and the other pool is just hot with no jets. You just want to chill in there with no blowies. That's cool, but if you want to get your groove on, you can definitely do that. I'm telling you, they're exactly the right height for the average size person. And I did see this one woman just standing there she must have been there for a good 15 minutes, and she was making some strange faces. And I don't like to assume, but common sense. She's getting her groove on, She's probably alone and her husband didn't pay no attention to her and she's got to get her thing on. Now, I did notice a couple of times these jets went off and then you got to go all the way upstairs. You got to get out, put your robe on, towel off, and go upstairs and ask them to turn them on again, which was silly. The lockers I'm going to be honest, a lot of the lockers in the men's locker room were broken. So you can't really lock things in a lot of them, but, most people ain't going to rip you off in a spa, right? And again, this is the long one with the strange jets. You have to see it. Now, here's the experiential spa journey. We have aromatic steam room. We have some smelly stuff in there if you like to do that. That's fun. The charcoal sauna, which I have never seen before. I guess you want to barbecue yourself. You could do that in there. The finish sauna, where you can finish yourself off or just sit on cedar wood. I guess they call that finish. Who knows? You have the experiential shower, which is handicap accessible. That's nice. And this shower I guess it has noise in here and turns colors. I don't know. I didn't do it. It's weird. It's silly. It's a thing. And they have a salt room too if you want to get your negative ions on. That's kind of fun. You can sit in there. It's kind of warm and kind of warm up. And the jury's out of whether salt does anything. Who knows? I'll keep hustling down this. We have the infrared sauna and you have some more cedar in here. So if you like to be hot, there's great places to get hot in this spa, and you can be experiential if you want to do that kind of thing. So lots of facilities, and not as cool as the one on MSC, but they do have an ice room. It's actually an ice maker. So there's not ice on the floor, not ice on the seat, not ice on the walls. You have an ice maker, and I don't know what you do with that. I don't just pour a cup of ice on your head. I'm not sure what was going on there. All right, so we're going to go on that thermal lounge, which is down here on 15. Again, directly underneath the... I'm going to let you listen for yourself so you can hear that. There wasn't even much going on this morning, so I had to film it a little bit later in the afternoon when the thermal spa was actually open. And it is the most noisy, crazy place that you're supposed to relax. I mean, it's beautiful. The vistas are great. The chairs are super comfortable. These chairs are heated. We paid $400 a person to have the ability to go in here for our entire cruise, and we were incredibly disappointed. I'm actually considering asking for a refund on this too. But look at this, a beautiful area, but listen for yourself. So yeah, huge fail, Norwegian, on your thermal spa. Bad location. I would flip these two things around. Put the gym underneath it, you ninnies, and put that upstairs. What are you thinking? I don't know. So yeah, again, it's a great looking place, and if you have noise canceling headphones, you put a little your own music in there, it will help. But if you're just listening, again, on the other side too, you're going to help people drop weights upstairs. It is insane. So there's a door that's marked private, do not enter, but it actually brings you through, and it's an easier way to cut through the spa and get back to the locker rooms. And again, these arrows are a little confusing. And yeah, I understand the ladies' locker room had the same problem. A lot of the lockers were broken. People can't figure out how to use them. So I don't know. All right, so let's go up to 17 where more of the fun happens and see what's going on up here. So this here, yeah, we're going to find some food, get our food on up here with our Food Republic in the seaside area. And let's go see what we can find up here. Here's the model of the ship that we saw earlier. And this is a great way to familiarize yourself with the ship. It's right outside the observation deck. So you can find out where everything is on the ship. Between this and the maps, you'll get your bearings a lot quicker. So they have this observation lounge, which is really nice. But again, on these northern European cruises where it's cold outside, you're going to have hundreds of people in here. The chairs are going to go incredibly quick. And you see they're big, bushy chairs. So not really a lot of places to sit. You had a lot of people sitting on the floor. You had kids up here. You had people staking out a claim, especially on sea days. They would not move. They would save their seats. And there wasn't a lot of, there's a bar up here. I think they had drink service, but it was very, very slow. I think there was only one guy up here the one time we did come up here, and we couldn't get a drink, so we left. But look at the views up here. It's beautiful. Beautiful front of the ship views, especially on these days where you have 24 hours of sunlight. Really, really nice. You can see the sea was kind of choppy on this day, but that's the other thing. The Prima does handle choppy seas very, very well. Stabilizers are right on. The thing's 2 years old, so it's got the latest technology, and it keeps a really, really smooth ride for the most part. It is very, very well appointed, nicely decorated, but again, just not a lot of places to sit up here. I would have probably made it a little deeper, pushed it back a little bit, but I don't know. There's a little tiny buffet area. You can get some drinks and coffee and stuff here. I think they have a breakfast buffet here at once, but again, it's very small. And again, you got to get up here early, stake your place if you want to do this. One of the best places to watch, especially going through the locks in Amsterdam too. You can see what's going on here, or you can go down to the thermal spa and listen to somebody bouncing on that treadmill. Big Clem Bob, who's never going to do a treadmill again, and bouncing over your head, ruining the entire thing for you. So this is a nice area to kind of hang out at if you have the opportunity. And then we come out in this area here, and this is a curious location because you will find the arcade. The arcade is behind the observation deck. I would have taken some of the arcade out and put more seats back here. Maybe on Prima 2 they'll do that. Who knows? And here, this is all not included. You got to spend your own money, hook up your little key card, and you'll end up with this huge bill at the end for arcade games. And I think there's an escape room and some mazes and some VR stuff and I don't know, stuff you can kind of keep the kids busy. This didn't get too busy. We were up here on a sea day. And because there's an additional cost for this, I guess it wasn't as busy as it might have been had they not had an additional cost. And had a bunch of kids up here playing. This air hockey has like 6 pucks. It's ridiculous. It's confusing. It hurt my head. There's a Mario Kart driving thing. A whole bunch of VR stuff here. So if you're into your VR, you can get that on here. And again, this is all additional cost. You have to pay for each of these games separately. And I don't even know what that was, some kind of shoot 'em up thing, Starship. And back here is the escape room. We didn't do that, wanted to do it, couldn't fit it in our schedule on this cruise, unfortunately. But and I actually didn't have the opportunity to talk to anybody who did it either, so I don't have a review on that. I apologize for that. Maybe next time. So there's the arcade. You can get your arcade on. If you're totally running out of stuff to do and your kids are driving nuts, just let them expend a little energy in here and you're good to go. So you go through this warp speed, blah, 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 this little figurehead on the end. This VR chick talks to you. And I don't know, she says the same things all the time. So then we can bounce out of here. Now, what's really weird is you have to go outside between the observation lounge and the buffet area. And when it's 45 degrees out here and the wind's whipping and it's raining, that's not very pleasant, Norwegian. Or you can go down a level and then go underneath. But that's crazy. They didn't think to cover this. And there's the pool. It's the only pool in the ship. It's tiny. I mean, the only main pool in the ship. Very, very small for a cruise ship. So on the other side, you're going to find the Palomar restaurant. They have an outside area and an inside area. That's their paid seafood restaurant. And look how small this pool is. Again, there was nobody in it. There's maybe like 2 kids that were really brave. I was really proud of them. A little bar area out here. I can imagine this place is probably nuts on a Caribbean cruise from Texas. It's got to be nuts in here because it's really the only place to swim. People sunning out here. You put your chairs out here. And to me, it didn't look like an area that was really big enough. So it didn't make sense in the Northern European situation to even, I don't know. We'll go through that later. So we're going to go through the Surfside Cafe, which is the buffet area. The food, people are asking, yes, it was very good. Their pizza was on point, almost as good as MSC's. Their tomato sauce and their pasta, very, very good. Their steaks, their offerings, their noodles, their stir fry, everything was very good. They're not afraid to use salt and seasoning on here. You can get your salads on, you can get your omelets on, and very, very, if I had to rate it out of 10, I give it a good 8 out of 10. Some of the best food I've had on a cruise ship in a long time. I think it was even better in Royal Caribbean. So yes, you can get your food on. Now that area does fill up very quickly, but they do let you overflow in the 2 restaurants in the back. So you can sit down, get your food over here, and then walk to the back. There are, it's typical hours. It opens at I think it was like 7 on this day. I think some of the stuff was open. Here's your desserts over here and your coffee stations. You can get some Starbucks here, but you have to pay for it. I'm not sure what that deal was. We don't do Starbucks. And there's a little bar here. It's a full-service bar back here along with juice and stuff. And behind that buffet, there's this burger area. And a lot of people don't come back here. They're afraid, can I go back there? Yeah, there's hot dogs, and they have French fries and hamburgers. And they will cook hamburgers to order here if you want. You can ask them during dinner time and lunchtime. Now, we talked about the Vibe earlier. People actually paid like $300 to have access to the Vibe Beach Club on a Northern European cruise. It's a beautiful, I'm telling you what, if you're in the Caribbean and you don't want to hang out towards that pool area, you've got a couple spas on the side here, and it's a beautiful hangout area in a sunny day in a Caribbean environment. You can see that this guy sitting out here, he had a winter coat on. So I can't recommend that for a Northern European cruise. They really should have opened it up and let anybody go out there, but they didn't do that. So, anywho, we're just going to bounce through the rest of 17 here, and you'll find these 2 restaurants. This is again, we only sat in here. I think we did have, I think we had a late lunch at Food Republic, which is kind of like an Asian infused kind of thing. You get your sushi and sashimi on there. And Palomar's seafood. One of the groups in our group did this and said it was very good. But again, they tell me everything's good, even if it was bad, because I think they're afraid to tell us that something's bad. It's that kind of people. I had a great time and you didn't. Ha ha. So here's Food Republic, and that was okay. And again, you're going to use this for the overflow for the breakfast area and when the buffet is just totally packed, and it does get packed quickly because the buffet, again, not a real big seating area over there. So this is nice too. You get good views here, and a lot of people don't come over here because they're lazy and want to stay over there by the buffet. And this is where all the chairs are going to go. If you're in the Caribbean, we can go up here and we can go to the Wave Aqua Park, and we're going to shoot up. This is actually deck 18. I think you can go up to 19 too. Some of the highest vistas on the ship. if you want to just take a look around. Normally there's a whole bunch of deck chairs out here. And this is where you're going to find the water slides, obviously not open in the northern European cruises. It's just kind of a huge waste of space. And I was sitting there racking my brain, what would I do if I was Mr. Norwegian and I wanted to reallocate these spaces in the Northern European? I really couldn't come up with much other than cover it up or put one of those, like MSC ships have this retractable roof. And I thought that was a brilliant idea. And I don't even do Northern European cruises, I don't think. So yeah, this area largely wasted on Northern European cruises. If you want to come up here and just take some pictures or just get away from everybody, again, it's dependent on the weather. It's going to be chilly. It could be rainy out here. You see everything's wet. It rained the night before. It's actually turning out to be a nice day. But again, we're almost in Amsterdam. So we're almost in like a regular European situation here. We're out of Iceland, out of Norway. And yeah, all this space is just unfortunate. I imagine this is really busy in the Caribbean. More deck chairs out here, all the overflow. And behind it there, you see the smokestack and you can see the raceway in the back here, which we did do once. And that was weird too. They do some strange stuff with the raceway. Like you can't really compete against people. They do time trials and some other stuff, and I don't know, it's bizarre. So I did take a couple turns here and had a big time on the racetrack, but I was there by myself. So yeah, Norwegian Prima. Is it a great ship? It's a great ship. I'd say it's a great ship, but not really cut out and optimized for Northern European cruises. It's neat that they do that. I really enjoyed it. It's really cool seeing some stuff you've never seen before. If you've never been to Northern Europe, you'll check out the windmills. Check out the windmills outside Holland. This is nuts. I lightened up the camera. You can actually see. I'm like, what are all those lights? I thought it was an alien invasion. When you lighten it up, you can see these are all windmills. Tremendous amount of windmill energy going up there, so I was really impressed by that too. But it's fun. Northern Europe is amazing, and check out some of the videos we have here. This is where it terminates and then begins again, and it starts a 10-day reverse from Southampton to Iceland. But highly recommend it. If you've never been to that part of the world, check it out. And check out some of the videos. Oh, here's the orcas we saw out of the dining room, in the Haven dining room. It is amazing. I thought Norway would be boring, and I was incredibly wrong. It is an amazing place, and I would like to go back to Norway and Iceland, and I probably will. Norwegian Prima. Give her a try. I think you'll be impressed.